Do you ever feel like life is just an endless cycle of pain and frustration? Arthur Schopenhauer would say yes, and that there's no escape. Carl Jung, on the other hand, believed that suffering could be transformed into something powerful. But who was right? Is life just a stage for misery, or is it a path to self-discovery? Today, you'll uncover how two of history's greatest minds explained human suffering, and, more importantly, how you can use their insights to your advantage. Arthur Schopenhauer didn't sugarcoat reality. For him, suffering wasn't an accident. It was the essence of existence. He believed that life is driven by an unstoppable force called the will to live, a blind, irrational energy that keeps us chasing desires we can never truly satisfy. The moment we achieve something, we immediately crave the next thing. It's an endless loop of frustration. Happiness, just a brief pause between struggles. His solution? To detach from desires, embrace a life of minimalism, and find peace through art, philosophy, and even asceticism. But is rejecting desire really the way out of suffering? Carl Jung had a different answer. Carl Jung saw suffering in a completely different way. Instead of something to escape, he believed it was a necessary part of personal transformation. According to Jung, pain isn't just random. It's a message from the unconscious, pushing us to confront our shadows, our deepest fears, and hidden parts of ourselves. Avoiding suffering only makes it worse. The real solution? Individuation. The process of integrating every part of who you are, even the uncomfortable ones. In other words, suffering isn't just pain. It's an invitation to become who you were truly meant to be. But can we really embrace suffering without being consumed by it? Here's where Schopenhauer and Jung completely diverge. Schopenhauer saw suffering as an unavoidable burden, something to be minimized by escaping the endless chase for desires. His philosophy leans toward detachment, almost like a Western form of Buddhism. Jung, on the other hand, believed that suffering wasn't something to escape, but to confront. He argued that our deepest pains hold the key to our greatest transformation. While Schopenhauer sought relief through withdrawal, Jung encouraged diving headfirst into the darkness to find meaning. But which approach actually works in real life? Should we numb ourselves to pain or use it as fuel for growth? So, which approach should you follow? If you take Schopenhauer's path, the key to reducing suffering is letting go of unnecessary desires. Stop chasing things that only bring temporary happiness. Simplify your life, embrace solitude, and find meaning in philosophy, art, or even meditation. On the other hand, Jung would tell you that avoiding pain only makes it stronger. Instead of running, face it. Ask yourself, what is this suffering trying to teach me? What part of myself have I been avoiding? The more you integrate your struggles, the stronger and more whole you become. But can these two views be combined? At first glance, Schopenhauer and Jung seem to be complete opposites. One says to detach from suffering, while the other says to embrace it. But what if the real answer lies somewhere in between? Maybe the key isn't to reject desire completely, but to be mindful of what we chase. Not all suffering leads to growth, and not all detachment leads to peace. There are times when stepping back, like Schopenhauer suggested, can save you from unnecessary pain. But there are also times when facing your struggles, as Jung believed, is the only way to truly evolve. The real challenge is knowing when to do which. So, how can you use this in your own life? When you're suffering, ask yourself, is this pain something I need to face or something I need to let go of? If it's a challenge that helps you grow, like overcoming fear, healing trauma, or building resilience, Jung would say to embrace it. But if it's pointless suffering, like obsessing over things you can't control, Schopenhauer would tell you to detach. Not every battle is worth fighting. Wisdom is knowing when to push forward and when to step back. The world will always have suffering, but how you respond to it will define who you become. Schopenhauer or Jung? Whose perspective on suffering resonates more with you? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this discussion insightful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more content on philosophy and psychology. See you in the next one.